guy. So how do we have time for a guy with three jobs?
He's in prison. That's how.
Oh,
I knew him when he was free, and so now that he's grown up a little bit while being in prison, I'm back attracted to him. I used to be attracted to him. He fine, Ashley. He's so fine, but
so you want to
but
be with
yeah,
him because he's fine. That's it, Ariane.
I want to be. Can you hear
Ariane,
me this time?
yes, I can hear you. How are
Okay,
you?
I'm great. I just started
Ariane,
a
what
new
is
job.
Ariane? I'm like, it's always the Wi-Fi. What's going on, Ariane? The Wi-Fi don't want us to be great. Ever.
It it's hating on me every time, Miss Ashley. Every time.
It's nice to see you.
It's great seeing you.
All right.
I've been talking to this dude for
Hold on. Before
over.
the dude, I just heard, hold on. Do you consent to be on a live and potentially all platforms?
Yes,
When you
ma'am.
say you just got a new job, that's what you also said.
Yeah, another new job. So now I have three.
Oh, wow, three jobs. So how do
Three
we,
jobs.
wait, okay, you're working, you're moving and shaking, and that's
Moving and
good
shaking.
because that's gonna help you grow because you are, I remember 21, right?
21. I'll be 22 this
Yeah,
year.
so good. You're
I'm
filling
going
up
on a
your,
cruise.
okay, all right, good. You're
So
filling
that
up
weight
your,
loss advice, I've lost 7.5 pounds
oh,
since the last time we
congrats.
talked. Thank you. Thank you. I went
Congratulations.
and seen my nutritionist finally.
Hmm.
So I'm on a calorie deficit.
Okay.
So since being on the calorie deficit and seeing my nutritionist, I've lost 7.5 pounds. Getting ready for my cruise in the summer to Ensenada, Mexico.
Oh,
Um, yes, yes.
okay. So how do we, and you're about to tell me about a guy. So how do we have time for a guy with three jobs?
He's in prison. That's how.
Oh, oh, the plot
But
thickens.
yeah,
Oh,
I've been talking to him for um a year and 3 months.
hmm.
So it's getting a little more serious. He proposed to me over the phone. I told him to wait until he got out because he gets out this October. So
Ariane, why can't we find someone in the free world? Why can't we do
I
that?
I don't go anywhere.
Okay,
I don't
so
go anywhere.
you're 21, you have your whole life ahead of you. And I do understand that women operate different than men, right? Sometimes a
Yeah.
woman, and this goes before, please, ladies, please stop, stop, ladies. Women can fall in love with conversation, a consistent conversation. Someone telling you they love you, they're giving you attention, they're pouring into you, they're listening to your hopes and dreams. I do understand that. But to be
Yeah.
so young, I think the world is your oyster. If you decide to level up, get yourself together, work on your physical and mental health, I think you can find someone, Ariane. Ariane don't want to hear it. She don't want to hear it.
I don't doubt that I can. Honestly, I would well have rather found someone like through church because I'm super heavy in my religion. I go to Bible study every week, Wednesday. I'm I do children's church. I do a lot within my church, but there's not the guys that are at my church. I've seen them all. I've been seeing them all. I grew up with them, so they're not really
But
my
Ariane,
cup
he's
of
in
tea.
prison. That's the polar opposite. That is the
Yeah,
polar
well,
opposite.
he I don't
Prison
finance him
church.
or anything, so it's easier for me to like deal with him. Like I don't send him any money. He has like a job. So he works in the fire camp department. So he makes enough money to support himself. I make enough money to support myself. I knew him when he was free, and so now that he's grown up a little bit while being in prison, I'm back attracted to him. I used to be attracted to him. He fine, Ashley. He's so fine, but
So you want to
but
be with
yeah,
him because he's fine. That's it, Ariane.
I want to be
Again,
with
I'm being
him.
light,
He
chat. Hold on. Let me say this to the chat. I'm being light on
he needs
Ariane
$5
because
a
she's
day.
21. Ariane is 21 years old. She doesn't have a 30-year-old mind. Although I think she is mature, I think you've been through a lot in your life. I'm going to say that. I think you've been through a lot of like traumatic situations. So I think that has made you a little bit more mature. So I'm going to give you that. I think you know better, but I do understand that you're still operating as a 21-year-old. With that said, looks are not enough. Because if you get
Looks are
pregnant and
enough.
you decide to have a baby, whether you're married or not, do you know if he can go out? Not saying guys who come out of prison can't reform their life, can't change their life around. But what will that look like for your children? Hypothetically, you decide to have a baby with him.
Yeah, I get that, and I was that's why when in the beginning I wasn't really into him like that, but then I learned more about how my parents met and how my dad's journey was, and so I kind of got a different mindset on like leaving jail and how you could do differently afterwards. Like my dad was in jail when right before meeting my mom, and
Mm,
she was college driven, had multiple jobs, very independent. She moved out to the city that they met in
mm.
by herself, and so like it just kind of gave me a different perspective of like men who already have kids, men who have been in jail or prison or otherwise. Like I looked at his cases and stuff, and there was nothing against women, so I was like, okay, you're not like a you don't your target for doing not so good things is not innocent women, innocent children. It's like you and a dude who both signed up for what you guys got going on. And so,
Yeah, but I think a part of growing up and looking at your
mhm.
parents' past, whether it's good or bad, right, is so
Super
we can
good.
voice.
They've been married for my whole life. They got married before I was born. They're best friends. They hang out every
I'm
day.
not
My dad
saying they're
has,
not. I'm not
yes.
attacking your parents,
No, no,
Ariana.
no, no, no.
I'm
I
not at all,
understand.
yes. But I'm
Yeah, I
sure
just
they
want
want
to
you to do better than they did. That's what I'm assuming.
right.
Even if dad
Yeah,
thinks that's a great man, I'm sure he's like, you know what? Let's break the generational curse. I want you to get the guy who's in college, who's a quote unquote square, quote unquote. Not saying he isn't, but quote unquote, the nerdy guy. He probably
yeah.
wants you to change the cycle.
My last was a square, and it just it
And that's who you should be with, the square. Why don't you want to be with the square, the good guy? Why not?
he is a narcissist, and um, he was very degrading. And the when I was in college and I was seeing the college dudes every day, they were also very mentally entitled. So it wasn't the kind of relationship that I was seeing in my parents. So I just was like, this is not what I want to do, even though he was fine too. And he worked out and he encouraged me to work out. And, but the things that he would say when encouraging me to work out were not so like lift you up. He told me that I couldn't be his girlfriend until I lost 100 pounds. He told me that I was condoning obesity because I told him that I loved myself, that if I had one leg, like if that's the way that Jesus made me, I'm okay. Um, he
So he
would
was
tell
just
me he didn't
toxic.
have like,
The way he spoke was, but we can't say all good guys or all nerdy guys are like that. We can't say every good guy is like that. That's not a fair assessment, right?
yeah. And the one before that, because I dealt with I'm a square girl, so my immediate attraction was to square guys. That's why I said I would love to find somebody in church, but I don't know if it's my demeanor or whatever. It's just not been too good with the people that I meet in day to day life. They're like users. So the one
But
before
what I
that,
feel like
he
you need to do,
had
Ariane,
everything
is
going too.
I feel like you need to focus on you right now. That's what I feel like. You need to focus on you. When I say level up, I'm not just talking about a physical level up, but mental, spiritual, all across the board. All
Hmm.
across the board. And then when you get to the place where you feel confident and where you need to be, that's when things will change in your life.
Okay. You know, I'm always listening to you, Ashley. By the next time you see me, I'll be like, and I left him. I don't talk
I'm
to him
just saying,
anymore. I
I
do
get
this,
it.
that,
You're
and the third.
young. He's saying a lot of sweet nothings. I'm not saying he doesn't like you. I'm not saying he doesn't care for you. But if I could tell you
Absolutely.
anything while you're 21 years old, is you do not need to settle. You could get someone out here who has never been to prison. You don't have to do
Yeah.
that at 21. You just don't. There's too many options out here, especially at 21. No. That's my
Okay.
advice to you. Read the chat. The chat
Okay.
is saying don't settle.
I'm
Don't
reading it.
settle.
I I'm reading it, and I hear all the focusing on you. People thinking that I don't listen to you. They must not know. From
Yeah.
the first
The
time
top, yes,
I was up
yes,
here to
yes,
this time, they don't know.
yes,
So I'm
yes,
reading, and God does have something great for me. Thank you for that.
yes, yes.
Um, so
I
yeah,
think you
I
have a
just
sweet spirit, and what I like about you, Ariane, is that you're open to criticism. I could see you want to change. You take it in.
yeah,
Yes, you do. So that's what I do adore about you, right? So please listen to us, your internet aunties, cousins, uncles, friends. We want to see you do well. All right?
yeah.
Think about
Hmm.
it, pray about it, journal about it. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, darling. Have a good night,
All right.
okay?
Good night, Ashley.
Good night. Bye bye. Some experiences are best lived, you know? Some experience are best lived. And before you guys start, stop acting like when you were 21, Tokyo Hussein a mess, or you were 25, or you were young, or you're doing it now. You wasn't sneaking and creeping and doing things you had no business doing it. Maybe it wasn't a man. Maybe it was a cigarette. Maybe it was weed. Maybe it was sneaking out. Maybe it was wearing a snooty booty outfit outside. Maybe it was kissing boys. Maybe it was being fast. Maybe it wasn't doing your homework and having an attitude with your parents. Maybe it was talking back. Maybe it was hiding, lying, sneaking, stealing. I'm just saying, you were doing something when you were younger. So please, with the judgments.
Hi.
Welcome, Nikki. Hi, how are you?
Hi. So I literally just got camera access yesterday. I had to get on your
Mm.
live immediately. First and foremost, Ashley, what you're doing is amazing. Right now, as women, we need to stick together. And the community that we build, that you've started, it's amazing. And also, before I continue, yes, I consent to be on live and all social media. Yes, I'm not new to this. Actually,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Nikki, I think your mic is covered. It's a little muffled.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Is this
Okay, perfect. Perfect. We can hear you now.
okay? Sorry,
Okay.
y'all. Sorry, chat. Don't come for me. I'm sorry. And also, let me
Okay.
make it a little more light. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Yes, let's get some light. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, Ash, I feel like I need to level up emotionally, if that makes any sense. So to make a very long story short, the past couple of years have not been great. When COVID started, I was actually working three jobs, which turned into two full-time jobs. It was honestly not bad for me. Like the 2020 to like 2022 year, I was essentially making two full-time checks, like from my couch. It was great. Obviously, as we all know, the workforce sort of changed as
Mhm.
time went on. We had to get back in the office. So
Mhm.
unfortunately, I did have to end up leaving one of my jobs. So that being said, I got a new one with literally now half my income. I have a whole apartment, and I live in New York. So all my New York girls, I know you're from New York, Ash. I know you. Um, I'm by
Mhm.
myself. I don't have no providers. I don't got no rich parents. Like I'm putting myself down. So as you guys can imagine, having my income cut in half is literally draining mentally, emotionally, like it's
Mhm.
draining. So I'm still currently in the same position. I'm literally slowly trying to pull myself out of it, but I feel like it stopped me from doing everything. Like I didn't care about dating. I wasn't really talking to my friends. Like all I cared about was the fact that I was in this place where I couldn't afford it. Stopped me from doing everything. Like I couldn't go out with my friends since I was too busy calculating on what would this cost and missing out on trips and experiences. And just for years, I felt like it sort of dragged me into that hole. And I felt like I was putting in the work, like almost every chance I got, I was applying for other jobs, trying to find other income, and it just didn't really work out really as I anticipated. So I feel like I sort of stayed in that dark place since. Recently, very recently, I just sort of started seeing a psychiatrist. So I feel like that's sort of helping, but I feel like I relate to you in a lot of ways, and I feel like you're very ambitious. And I just feel like if you were in my situation, like what would you do? I want to move on with my life. Like I
Yeah.
want to
I
continue.
feel like the first thing I thought of is you need to downsize. Have you looked for another apartment, maybe something more affordable?
So I have, and I just feel like to give up. So I have my own apartment currently, and I have tried to. I've looked into downsizing, but
Hmm.
it just hasn't really like nothing. Nothing is really.
So you either downsize, I don't know where you live in New York, or you decide to live somewhere like further out in New York City, or you decide to live in a borough you don't want to live in necessarily, or in a neighborhood that you don't particularly love, but the rent is more affordable. That those are your options. But to take that stress off of you, I think you need to downsize with your space. If not your space, then you there's no going out. Maybe I get another car. Maybe I give up my car and take public transportation. But something has to be sacrificed so you can release that stress and think clearly about your next steps.
Okay, okay. I feel like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And I think that's why you're depressed or maybe anxious and why you want to see a psychiatrist. I think it's because of the stress of like, it's just you're overwhelmed. You're very overwhelmed. Yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very.
Yeah. So you need to think about downsizing immediately before summer.
Okay. And yeah, and that's the thing too. I feel like the chat saying like, have I tried to get other income? That I've been trying, and that's the thing too. Like I went from being able to get 2, 3 jobs like easy, easy, and now I know it's like I'm probably it's not a unique thing. I know the job market sucks, but it's just like yeah, like now it's like I've been looking almost everywhere for side hustles. So if y'all know any, please feel free to message me.
Yeah, a side hustle could be, some Amazon. If you really want to get that coin, Amazon, working retail, something, a day trade. I'm working at a call center. If you don't want to leave your home, yes, the delivery driving. Yep,
Okay.
overnight jobs, a server,
Okay. All right.
digital marketing.
Yeah, it's hard out here, y'all. All right, but I should thank you for your time. I'm definitely gonna take all this into consideration, and thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome, darling. Have a good evening. Bye. Yeah, that would be my suggestion. If the rent is stressing you out, if the rent is too high, it's time to downsize. It's time to downsize. And I think what happens, and I'm going to tell you guys through experience, is just when you're making money and you're growing, I do understand as you're making money, you also kind of want to open up your lifestyle. But I say, wait, don't buy the new car just yet. Don't buy the new home just yet. Hold the brakes. I would say give it another year. Don't jump in and buy a new home and new car. I know you're making more money now. I get that. But give it a second. Give it a second. Don't jump and buy new bags, new shoes, new car, new this, new that. Do not jump and buy a bunch of new things. Slow down. Let your income build. Okay? Sit on it. Invest in things that will help you make more money. Before you jump and buy a new vehicle, a new home, a new shoe, a new bag, be responsible because something can be here today and gone tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure you have at least that money saved, or if something goes left, you know what? I think I can pay my mortgage or my rent for the next 12 months. I think I can still do that because I didn't like upgrade. I'm still at the same level, but I'm just making more money. I think that's the best way to do it. Just hold your horses. Enjoy it. Enjoy the money. Don't go from spending, 4,000 or 1,000 a month, 1,500 a month to paying 3,500 a month. And then something goes left and now you're like, "Oh wait, hold on. Where am I going to get this money from?"